Are we on? Yes guys, and welcome back. So today we're on legs. I actually don't think we've done legs on this setup, have we? The like lower volume, heavier sort of style of training that I've been doing. And actually, the legs have come back to life pretty nicely from withering a little bit at the beginning, from coming down a little bit too fast, like from 285 to 247 in about 6 weeks. My legs disappeared fast, and that's never happened to me before. So it's a bit like panic stations. So just looking at the plan today, I've obviously been doing this now for a good amount of weeks, but there's only 4 quad sets, 5 hamstring sets, and then an adductor as well. So it's pretty minimal. It is technically push-pull leg style training, if you want to call it that. I'm still not off ridiculously heavy on quad movements. A little bit of a higher volume set on the leg press. Hack squat, I've been pushing it a little bit further, but because I train on my own, it's difficult to get squats sometimes. We're training in Ultraflex Normanton today, which is another one of the Ultraflex gyms, and I don't really know anybody in here. Generally when I train, it's pretty empty, so there's no one to spot me, or nobody not that I trust spotting me, but you know how it is. So we've got Joe in today, and at least if I need to be pulled out of a hole, I can be pulled out of a hole. So we might push that a little bit, as long as the knees are okay. I do find that hack squat here, got an Atlantis, and I'm not quite sure of the make of the other one. But anyway, you can get me on my knees a little bit, but we'll see. I'll talk you through the session, what I'm looking to do. Legs is legs, but just a little bit of a different angle to what you're used to seeing with me. We've dropped food yesterday, 300 calories less today and on a non-training day, which isn't a lot. Still got no fat burners in there or anything like that. Still everything nice and clean, nice and steady. Steps are at 8,000 a day. Cardio's at 35 minutes. And what I've been doing recently is put 8,000 steps a day because I'm at my desk a lot, and now I'm driving a minimum of 2 hours a day to the gym. Once my cardio is done at 35 minutes, I put my watch back on and I'll just do maybe another 10 minutes of a little bit slower. So my cardio is like steps anyway. So I found that actually gets my steps in pretty easily. I get that extra 1,000, 1,500 steps in. And after legs today, I actually will do a 10-minute walk as well. Again, not cardio, just to get my steps up there, and it saves me having to walk around the streets on a night at the minute, which I'll have to do when my steps get up to like 10,000, something like that. Adductor first, which is up there. I think there's maybe another adductor in here somewhere. See, I've seen people put pictures of it on. I think it's on the other mezzanine, and this adductor up there, it's not too bad, but it feels like, I'll show you when I'm up there, but to me it feels like I'm a lady going into like a gynaecologist chair. Random. It's got weird foot stirrups on it. We'll go and hit that, 2 sets. And yeah, we'll chat you through the session, guys. Right, change of plan. I don't know if this has been here all the time. I don't think it has. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm going to try this one. The other one's okay, but it's just quite prehistoric, if that's the word. So I'm going to see how we get on with this. I feel like an adductor machine, or adductor machines in general, are quite specific to the individual. So there's some that I use and I don't feel anything, or I get minimal. And some that I use and it just nails them straight away. So I'll know within a set of this, of a warm-up, if it's going to be any good for me or not. So we'll see. I'm sure it's fine. So Atlantis views are pretty good. That's fucking terrible. My hamstrings are quite big, but if I had no hamstrings, that'd like literally go underneath my... Am I sat on that right? Yeah, that's awful. We're not using that. That's got to be the worst adductor machine I've ever sat on. So just 2 sets of the adductor. I've mentioned before about just using the adductor at the beginning of a session. It's an exercise that's not super intense, but it's quite direct. It gets plenty of blood in the legs, and it's a really good way to start the session, get your mind in the right place, etc., before you go in with a massive movement straight away. Some people do calves, which is a good idea as well. For me, always adductor, whatever the plan. And something I put in my client's plan a lot as well, adductor to begin with. Sometimes supersetted with adductor. The sets on here as well, the stacks, it's not heavy, but it's not light. So looking for like 20 rep sets, something like that. I actually feel pretty pulled down today already. Yesterday was the day after my 2 days rest, and then I had like a 2,000 calorie meal. I had homemade burgers with some of them McCain's lighter chips. And yesterday's session was good. And then I just woke up this morning and I had that sort of like heavy feeling already. I was like, fucking hell. That didn't last long. I was like 241 pounds this morning, so that's the lowest I've been. And then we pulled food, so I'd expect over this next rest day push pull, by next week I'll be well into the 230s actually, maybe £2 or £3 off. We're trying to take around £5 off before we reset and then feed up again. So I'm hoping that it doesn't come off too fast. £2 a week would be nice. So in like a couple of weeks, sort of £2 off, but much leaner would be much better. So that's the plan. Not having the most successful day so far today, actually. I've been nailed by speed camera van that way, literally just staring at as I went by at 80 mile an hour. Hammer strength line leg curl, which is probably, I think, the best leg curl, line leg curl there is on the market, is under repair, so we can't use that. This is okay, but you can't get it in the length end as well. It bottoms out before you do, which is not a problem, but it's not as good as that. So we'll make a few adjustments to this, make sure I'm feeling good before we go in. 3 sets, 8 to 12. So for me, just gonna bully each set. That's all it is today. I'm not gonna think about it too much in terms of volume and squeezing and stretching and squeezing and stretching. I'm just gonna get in, go as heavy as I can for 8 to 12 and just bully the fucker, which I can do with my hamstrings. It's probably worth noting that as you get deeper into your prep or your diet phase or anything like that, you're going to feel quite fatigued in your sessions, and it's really important that you actually prioritize your performance in the gym. So it's very easy when you're losing your pump or you have a pump and it goes very quickly to try and chase that in a session to make yourself feel a little bit bigger and like you've got a good connection. However, actually, if you're doing that a little bit faster and your goal is performance maintenance and you've done that throughout your off season, it's important that you just take your time and make sure you've recuperated and rested properly before you actually go into your set. Otherwise, your performance markers are just going to drop, and that can be from 10 weeks out, 8 weeks out. Obviously, there's going to be a point in your prep, 3, 4, 5 weeks out potentially, depending on how lean you are or how low your food is, etc., where your performance is going to drop, and then it's just maintenance. However, before that point, take your time before you go into your sets. Make sure your execution's good. Make sure you can give everything to each single set, and you're not just going in too quick and then allowing your performance to drop. One thing I've had a conversation with the clients this week about, generally the international guys, because there's a lot of information readily available in the UK about this, but your rep range is on your plans. So if your rep range is 8 to 12 and you're on rep number 12 and you've got more, don't stop, keep going. If you get 17 reps, you simply just need to up the weight next time. It's going to take you a few weeks, maybe even a little bit longer, especially if you use different gyms, to find out what load you need to be in that rep range. So don't feel like because week 1, week 2 has gone by, you're not getting it right, that you're doing it wrong. You just take your time to find out where the loading that you need is going to fit into that set. So for example, there for me, I got 11.5 or 11 reps, let's say. So I know next time I'm not going to hit that again. So I can keep on that weight and probably drop to 9 or 8. And then the set after that, I'm going to have to decrease the load, so then I can get into the 8 to 12 rep range. Once you do that, it's pretty easy to be able to do your progression in your logbook or however you're going to do it. But don't feel like you're getting it wrong and you have to stop if you're going to go over the rep range, or if you go too heavy and you get under the rep range. You just got to keep adjusting until you get it right. I don't know how much Joe will sort of show the warm-ups, but I do 10 reps on every sort of weight. It's more so just to get my knees warm. I should actually probably start to wear knee sleeves if I'm doing legs here on these 2 machines. With the Cybex, I can get away with not using knee sleeves, so it's quite comfortable. These are a little bit harsher on my knee, and sometimes 3/4 of the way up the rep, I don't know if you've ever had it, but I get that shooting pain through my knee, which almost makes me like stop, which is not great if you've got a load on your back. So I'm just trying to get as much lubrication, blood through the legs as possible, so when I'm actually on my working set, I don't get any of them sort of like sharp shooting pains or anything like that. And it's just worth taking your time in warm-ups, whether that be hack squatting, chest pressing or anything, if you've got slight niggles anywhere. But generally I'm fine, but using these machines, I've got no choice while I'm training legs here, so just be extra mindful. One of the biggest factors, well, I say that from last year, why I wasn't hungry till like 10 days out, apart from the fact I weren't in shape, was drinking the amino acids between the meals. I never had a chance to get hungry. So I've had my meal, an hour later, I'm drinking amino acids, which is, if you put some ice in it, it's like a little shake, isn't it? And an hour later, I'm eating again. So now, because I was training twice a day, there was no periods of time where I'd sit and just be able to sort of like procrastinate or think about being hungry. But then again, I definitely should be hungry by this point, and I'm just not. So I am looking forward to at least some hunger. I still think I've got another 4, maybe 5 or 6 weeks actually. Okay, let's go. That was good. Got a big scoop of Hydromax in there today. In the UK, we've had our first warm day, so it's only right that I plug in electrolyte hydration products that Strom use. There are no products, well, there actually are similar products in the bodybuilding space now, but Strom were the first to bring this most definitely into the bodybuilding space. There were products like that in distance running and things previously, but Vickers formulated by far the best hydration product there is. And if you suffer from lower back pumps, cramps, that is the product to have. It's Hydromax. Tastes nice, I think around 4 calories in it, around half a gram of sugar from the cranberry extract in there. If you are tracking your calories, or if you are on prep and you're tracking everything to the T, tell your coach to remove 4 calories, or just don't have one of your 6 monsters a day and have as much Hydromax as you want. So this next set is a set to complete failure. So all out old school for me, everything. It's important that I have one set like this in the session at the minute, especially to keep my quads where they are. If I don't, they will drop off. I may get Joe near the end of the set to pull me out, I don't know. But could we tripod it, do you think? That's heavy.
Lock in then, focus. Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh, what were you? Come on. With you though, yeah?
No. Drive.
Push. More. Flip my luck. I hit my own words there on that last ray. My fucking ass came right off and I was on my toes. I don't think, were you pulling? Or were you struggling though? Well, you just left me in the same position and I was ready to give up and go back down. I was about half a second from going. I thought you couldn't move it. That was good though. Everything on quad's completely failed. Job done for that set. High rep leg press next. We'll show you what it is. Well, basically something that me and Neil used to do on the leg day when we came here was 3 to 5 second up, 3 to 5 second down continuously for as many reps. So 20 reps doing that on that particular piece of equipment is just absolutely murder for the quad, like murder. So I do that, feels really good, and like that completely wipes my legs out actually. Take a minute, seems as though my lower back's just been snapped in half. And then we'll go again. So with this, the load is not heavy, but it's constant, and actually it's really heavy in the lengthen. As soon as the momentum goes on this machine, it's like you're pushing a dead weight. So it's not like you can come down and bounce out, you can do that all day. I come down, I stop. The amount of pressure and tension on my quad then is huge, and then I slowly force it out to try and make it as heavy as possible, and I just constant tension all the way through. If I can get 20 reps without stopping, it's the goal here. I managed to do it last week, but it's one of them where you're battling in your mind where just don't pause, don't stop. If you do, fucking... Oh, I was actually going to say your dog dies or something like that. That must come into my mind. My French bulldog, even though he doesn't live with me, he was my dog. And then when I left my ex, so when we both split up, I left the dogs with her and the kids because it's a family thing. And he actually got put down yesterday. So old age though, he lived a good life. But that's probably why that sentiment came into my head. So maybe it's something a bit different. Dorian Yates now, you've got a gun to your head. That's probably a little bit better. Put yourself in the position in an exercise like this. You find out a lot about yourself. Like how much do you want it? Because if I stop today, or if I stop next week, I just don't fucking want it enough. I just don't, because I can complete it Absolutely. Just like if I was going to run a marathon, I could do it because I just wouldn't fucking stop. If I stopped, it just means I just don't want to do it, you know. So when you're doing this, you find out a lot about yourself, I find, on these kind of exercises. Don't leave here today with regrets or doubts or being able to call yourself a pussy. This is called the fucking trembler. You'll see why. For about 5 reps. Oh my god. I have 4 reps in there. So, just like everything on it constantly. The idea is 3 to 5 seconds up, 3 to 5 seconds down, but that's all that is on there, just one big gun to the head. So, third quad exercise, but like for me, 2 sets to failure on quads is a lot. And obviously legs is the only way that I normally train like this, so where I don't technically go to like all out failure on legs, which is a shame because I do enjoy it. At the end of the day, I'm a fucking bodybuilder, like old school through and through, like as hardcore as it comes, really. But there's been smart and there's been, you know, working towards the goal that you need. I'm just really enjoying everything at the minute. And that's like life in general as well. And not like I'm having any kind of epiphany or anything like that, or, you know, bodybuilding's taking a back seat, because it's not, and it never will. It never will, up until I'm too old to do it and start doing weird old man shit. But up until then, you know, I reckon I've got easy another 7 years left of competitive bodybuilding. So it'll always be at the forefront, and everything around that will be, bodybuilding will be the centre around everything that I do. But just allowing myself just time, just like even little like small things, like just getting the motorbike is massive for me, you know, little things like that. So coming in here today and training, usually my day is wake up, do cardio, do clients, come to the gym, drive home, do clients, go to bed, repeat. That's it, nothing else. No one gets a look in, nothing. Whereas now, today, it's a sunny day. I'll come, I'll train legs, I'll go back, I'll probably go for a walk, it's still nice. The kids live an hour away from me, but if they're not busy tonight, I may go through. We may go and do something, I may wash the cars and the bikes. Something that I would just never normally do. Just normal people shit. You may have seen me like advertising for more clients, which is something I've never done, because my client base is reasonably large anyway, and everyone comes with recommendations or just transformations in the gym and people asking, fucking hell, what have you been doing? I've been working with Jimmy. But like all my check-ins were done by 9:30 this morning. Like nailed everyone. I've got 6 people in shows in these next 2 or 3 weeks. Everyone was fucking answered and replied to within a minute of what we need to do. The rest of my clients were nailed. I've got some international clients checking while I've been here, so I've maybe got another 4 or 5 when I get back, and then I'm done. That's me. And that productivity and that sort of hunger for life again is good and high, and I'm excited. I'm really excited for the future. Whereas before, I could have almost told you how my life was going to be for the next 15 years. I could have told you. I'm going to do this, I'm going to buy a house, we're going to go here. This is what I'm going to do daily. I may do this, I'll go on holiday here. We'll do this. Which is great, because as a bodybuilder, we like stability and we like certainty, you know? Whereas now, like, I don't know what's happening next week. And to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm going to live next week. And that's a true story. Cooper said to me yesterday, when are you moving back here? And my honest answer is like, I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't know. But shall I move to Dubai? I don't know. Shall I go Cheltenham and train out the shed? Shall I go, you know, who knows? Might be getting a bit carried away there, but you get the picture. So if you've got any recommendations in where to move, ideally Texas, that'll be fucking beautiful. But I don't think that's on the cards yet. Kids are still too young. So unfortunately, probably still somewhere in the UK. Jeff said to me last night, it was like, we'll do another 2 or 3 weeks pushing, and then we'll be into like the 7 or 8 week out mark. I thought, fucking hell. For me, it feels like I'm going to be doing this for like 15 weeks, something like that. See if we get to like 5 week out condition, I'm like, fucking hell. I'm like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for this to be done. The problem with me this year is mentally, I'll never be ready. I won't be lean enough. No matter what my body fat percentage is or whatever I won't see myself as lean enough. That's going to be my issue this year because my expectations are so high of myself, or so far removed from what's possible in terms of condition. I'm going to need some good heads around me to say, look, you are where you are, but ones that I trust. Yeah, well, to me now, I feel like I'm like 10 weeks out condition. Would you say that? So 3 weeks is like 7 weeks out, isn't it? I want people to look at me and like be concerned. Like, basically, people are just going to think I've taken to meth. Get so lean, my teeth start falling out. If my teeth start falling out, it is meth. And someone come and save me. So the thing on leg day is I don't get as many steps around the gym because like I finish the exercise now and I'm quite sedentary. I'm not walking around like I would after a push or a pull. That's why I just do 10-15 minutes post-workout walking. And a lot of my guys who need to bring legs up or we need to be mindful about their leg activity because if they've got busy jobs or whatever, will actually avoid cardio on leg day or reduce cardio on leg day. Definitely don't do any post-workout cardio on leg day. For me, and actually for some other people as well, I've got an hour 10-minute drive back. Last thing I want to do is just nail my legs and then sit down, seize up. So just that slow walk, again, flush a little bit of lactic acid out the legs is always a good idea. And then it obviously gets me 1,500 extra steps. Put me on today. I've done just under 4,500 steps. So if I get another 1,500 steps by the time I leave here, that's 6,000 steps. So I'll get 2,000 steps just cooking my meals and fucking about with stuff tonight. So just trying to avoid, at the minute, having to do evening walks. Because the condition I'm trying to get in, I need to save as many tools as possible. So when body fat starts to slow or things start to get nitty gritty, me going out for that 20-minute, 25, 30-minute walk on a night is going to then propel my body fat even lower because of my expenditure. That's where I'm going to get my extra expenditure from, rather than doing a lot of active cardio, rather than losing more expenditure in the gym and then losing performance. Saving as much as I can for as little later down the line as I can, which is the case with any prep anyway, but I know what I need to do at this minute to get into a certain level of condition. Because there will be a point where I'm doing 17, 18,000 steps a day with cardio included. So, 14, 15,000 steps probably. Legs done, pins, sticks, quads done. Still got a runny nose as well, so I don't know what's going on there. Maybe a hay fever, potentially. I never had it, but so a successful couple of days of training there for me post deload. It's something I'm going to do much more of in this diet. Push myself down until I feel that sort of performance drop. I say me, me and Nathan had a conversation where we literally just pull, like we say, 5 pounds off now, which will take us like 236, 237. I feel like at 225 I'll be fucking inside out. So 18 pounds or so from this. By that 5 pounds I'll probably be due a level off of the feed. Probably won't rest then, but probably feed, take another couple off and then rest, level off feed, take another 5 off, come down to 230. And then I'm going to be within striking distance of the condition I need, I think. 5 to 7 pounds potentially. And then it's just a case of sort of managing and allowing body to come down there. With the prep with Jordan was very interested in the fact that we just managed it with lots of feeds. If you followed me then or you saw me then, like every 4 to 5 days I was having the large stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. We started off with 1 slice of cake, 2 slices of cake, 3 slices of cake. And then it was the last 3 times was eat the pizza and as much cake as you can until you're nearly sick, which sounds fantastic in a prep. And when he says that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. I felt fucking terrible afterwards, but it was the only thing that was doing the job. When you're in that sort of condition, there's no amount of rice or potato or cream of rice that is going to hold you. It's just not. So that's what works. And ideally, all of appetite right now is in the bin, and the homemade burger and chips I had the other day. I was saying to Joe yesterday, I just had 2 mouthfuls and I was just fucking done. So right now, that doesn't seem like an exciting concept to me, but I know it's the thing that works. Big hits of fats and sodium and carbohydrates filling me, allowing my performance to be great for 4 or 5 days. Going down, holding, come back up and down again. So just trying to really replicate the Jordan prep, ideally, would be great. But then with Nathan's attention to detail in a lot of things that he has, I just think it's just going to be, and Nathan's ability to peak people is phenomenal. He doesn't miss. Very underrated as a coach for things like that. Absolutely. So far the signs are good. I'm going to go and have a little wander now, just 15 minutes, probably like level 2.5. So again, it's 1,500 steps. And then we'll call that a day. Lovely weather outside. So I'll probably go home, wash the bikes in the car. See. Any questions? Fire them across. A couple of comments have been nice, just algorithm and all that sort of shit. But I'm enjoying this. You'd have just seen the shopping video. We've done this. We're going to do a show day video where clients are competing now pretty much every weekend. So I'm up and down the country most weekends. So there are actually going to be a few videos in different gyms and maybe actually some collaborations, to be fair, while I'm going to be in certain towns and some other people there, which would be pretty cool because I'm sure that you all get bored of just listening to me mumble and not make a lot of sense. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you all, and I will see you next time.